The cross was the most brilliant strategy that was ever conceived to solve the most difficult problem that was ever faced.
Who is God? Religions and sects from earliest ages to just the past few decades believe they have the answer to this question. Yet countless millions still search for God.
I've been to Africa, I've been all over Asia and China and throughout Europe. I've been all over the world, and I can say from personal experience, whether it's a Hindu in India, whether it's a brilliant scholar in a university somewhere in Europe, whether it's a Buddhist in China, I've discovered everywhere I've gone that this cry that Paul talks about in Romans 7:24 is the cry of every human heart. Who will rescue me? If God is a God of love, then how can He be so detached, so dispassionate from the world's suffering? Why doesn't God do something? Where is He? If God's a God of justice, then why is there so much injustice in the world? I mean, think about it. There are children starving to death in Africa. There are people that are abused, mistreated. For example, there might be somebody listening to me right now that you've experienced some abuse in your life. You've experienced some time in your life where someone betrayed you, where perhaps there was some difficult, heartbreaking experience that you went through. Maybe there's someone in your life that died at a young age, or there was some kind of terrible bondage that you were somehow touched by the impact of other people's decisions and lives. And you ask yourself the question, okay, we talk about a God of justice, we talk about a God of love, but where is the love of God? Where is the justice of God? Why wasn't He there? Look around at the human race. Are we getting better? Are we achieving the utopian hopes that we all had for what we could do? Are we fixing our problems? Are we solving our issues? No. As a matter of fact, I'd suggest to you things are spiraling even further down. You see, we have a tendency to think that somehow when we get to heaven, as some religions would teach, that somehow God is going to take our good works and He's going to take our bad works, He's going to separate them out, and if our good works outweigh our bad works, then we'll get to go to heaven. If our bad works outweigh our good works, then sorry, we'll be separated from God. But think about it. How do you separate your good works from your bad works? For me, this concept of the God who will forgive sin and the God who will punish sin seem to be in contradiction. How can we resolve those things? I got to thinking, maybe I've kept my hands pure and innocent in vain, because the wicked are prospering and the righteous seem to be struggling. All of this became such a perplexity to me, became so troubling to me, that I was just about to slide back away from my faith. But all of a sudden I realized that what I was looking at was the temporalness of this world, with no realization of the coming day in which God will judge the world with justice. So the first answer to the question, where is the justice of God in the world, is first of all, hold on, the whole story hadn't been told yet.
God. This word that means divinity or deity is a term used randomly for idols, objects, and ideals conceived in the minds of men, fashioning their concepts into images and rituals created by human hands. Their gods spring from materials which have been provided by the one eternal, self-existent God of the Bible.
We talk about reconciliation. What we're talking about is not a detached God who sits as an accountant in the sky, creating theological terms for man to study and get degrees in and talk about. That's our terminology. That's our sanitization of the problem between man and God. What we're talking about is a heavenly Father who said, I must pacify my wrath. I'll take the sin upon myself. I've got to pay the price. My blood will do. I've got to meet the requirements of the law. I'll be the substitute. Now see, that concept of the cross being the place where God has chosen to reveal himself is essential. Because in fact, we can't know God, the God of the Bible, the God of Christianity, if we don't know this cross. Because the cross was the place that Jesus himself, who the scriptures teach as Christians, was the one who was the exact representation of the glory of God. Though in the past he revealed himself through prophets and through creation, now the full revelation is about to happen. And what was the moment when that full revelation was going to be the fullest? The cross.